Hello, hello, hello out there in the interwebs. Hope you're using your safe browser, Netscape 2.0. I hope everyone has got down their latest version of McAfee. And don't try to uninstall, because it'll take forever. So, Cook's Jam for being here, Cook's Jetchum in the bigger picture, and Cook's Jipe to the creator for, I don't know, a great week, a great couple of weeks here at the Remergence Festival. And I'm so thankful to be here, thankful for everyone helping and working on this, and just, respect. So, I'm going to tell a couple of stories tonight. And the first one's going to be why Coyote no longer wears moccasins. So storytelling is really, really old. In Nlaka'pamux, we never had written language. We had oral history, stories. And winters were long here. You know, there's a reason why we have a lot of stories. It's because in the winter, we'd hide out in the lodges. The kikulis. Can you say kikuli? Kikuli. Kikuli. It's a pit house. The houses that are in the ground, and then we'd cover them with logs and live underground, basically. Cool in the summer, cozy in the winter. So we tell lots of stories. And stories are our way of situating ourselves in the land. Here's Coyote Rock, you know. Here's Trunkill Creek. Here's Stump Lake with all the stone giants and the stone people up there. You know, there's all kinds of stories on the land. How we got fire, geese songs, swan songs, honk, all kinds of stuff, okay? So that's what stories do. They ground us, they give us roots, they help us stay and find our way. So this story starts out at the old Savannah Balancing Rock. I can't remember, how many of you guys have seen the Balancing Rock? Yeah? All right, cool. Apparently there used to be two there. And one fell in the 50s. I just heard this story. So the Balancing Rock is out towards Savannah. Just past the lookout, there's a gully, and down in it, there's this huge balancing rock. It's on this column of glacial till. And I swear, it's bigger than the stage. It's so massive. And it's been there for thousands upon thousands of years. And apparently, there's 9 in Nlaka'pamux. And they are become places of stories. They become spiritual places where we'd go fast, where we do ceremonies, where we sing songs. So they're sacred. But Coyote, you know, Coyote, Sklep. Can you guys say Sklep? Sklep. Sklep. Yes, there we go. I love you guys. So, Sklep, he's a bit sacrilegious, you know, doesn't take things too seriously. He's always joking. He's always looking out for number one, himself, and his brother, Horatio. So they get along really well. They're twins, basically. So Coyote takes a sacred place and kind of, you know, naps on it. So this is a story of how Coyote stopped wearing moccasins. How all animals stop wearing moccasins. Ooh, spoiler alert. Oh. Okay, so this story begins a long, long time ago. Before there were people. Before you, me, and everybody else. The Kalmuk, the people. Can you say Kalmuk? Kalmuk. 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 Yeah, isn't it fun to sing? So, Coyote wakes up. It's been a long winter. It's springtime. Him and his family, Miss Coyote, we'll call her Marge. Then they've got 3 cubs. We'll call Bart, Lisa, and Simpson. Bart, Lisa, and Maggie, McGaggy. So we'll call him that, okay? Because I have to do that for my own memory. Otherwise, I'll forget. So he wakes up, and he's the first one awake. And he's like, yes! Oh, yeah! And he's trying to sneak out. Because he wants to get out and get away from his family. He's like, oh, yeah, sweet, excellent. Oh, this is the best. And his mama coyote, Marge, wakes up and grabs him by the tail. Hey, honey, how are ya? I was just going to get some snow to make some water and a slushy. That's what I was going to do, honey. And she grabs him and pulls him in, drags him in, grabs him by the scruff of his neck. All right. Yes, dear. You are going to go out and you're going to get some food. You're going to get some rabbit, no squirrel. You're going to get some grouse, maybe a duck or a goose if you see one. But you ain't coming back until you get something, okay? Because I'm hungry, the kids are hungry, it's been a long winter, we're running out of food, and I really can't handle this anymore. Nlaka'pamux like, hey, I got this. No problem. And that wakes up the cubs, and they all, Maggie, McGaggy, and Lisa and Bart start waking up, and there's like, kids, right? They're like running around. And they're Marge and Nlaka'pamux are just standing there going, oh. Parents, you know what I'm talking about. So, okay, he's like, okay, I'm going to go get some food. I'll get it. We're going to be, oh, yeah. Just working on this belly, really happy. It's going to be good. Honey, I'll go do it. But I need my moccasins. Puts his paw out. Jeez, it's so cold. Mama Coyote's like, fine. She's just tired, eh? Like just knees aching and back is sore. And, Nlaka'pamux, he gets to go out and run around and have fun. And she's at home with the cubs. Gets him his moccasins and he's like, okay. You got to be careful. Don't get them too wet, because they'll get hardened up and they'll be gross and you won't like them. And don't get them too muddy, okay? Please. We've only got a couple pairs left. And you know what it's like trying to trade with buckskin, okay? You know he's kind of a cheapskate. Always going on about wanting honey. Honey this and honey that. Nlaka'pamux like, oh, don't worry about it. I got this. We're going to have so much food, it's going to be ridiculous. We'll be fine till next winter. And Mama Coyote's just like, whatever, just come here. So they get his paws, gets his moccasins on, gets them both gets the pairs on, both his feet, and he's like, all right, I will go further than ever before and come back with the most food ever eaten in this den. We're going to be so full, it's going to be disgusting. I'm going to do it for you, I'm going to do it for you, and I'm going to do it for you. Honey, you're going to be proud of me this time, for sure, for real, 100%. Mama Coyote's like, just go, just get out of here. Poof, poof. And he's like, oh, nobody has a flair for drama in this family. What gives? Oh. Onward I go. He's going. Oh, yeah. Nobody's around. He's just showing off because that's the kind of character he is. He's like, I have no kids. Nobody to bother me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Finally, he stops. And he's like, wait a minute. he sees someone. He's like, well, we meet again, Brother Bear Spotch. And Spotch is just standing there. Oh, I'm so hungry. Oh, I want that honey. Why is this tree so skinny and tiny? I can't climb it. Oh, I just want to get my sweet tooth on. Well, gives the tree another shake. Beehive's still there. Just stuck right to that tree. It's like, well, where's my kids when I need them? Always climbing around. And when you want them to do something, you can't find them. All right, well, fine, I'll go. Nlaka'pamux is like, all right. Goes around the tree, and Spotch is still there going, Spotch! Can you guys say Spotch? Spotch! Spotch! Yes, there we go. Spotch, black bear. He's going, well, I'm gonna go. That honey's just gonna make me cry. I want that sweet, sweet honey. Jeez. Coyote grabs the tree, it's a little tiny tree, and he just starts shaking, making his best bear noise as he can. Spotch goes, oh. What was that? Who was that? Honey? Is that you? Walks around. Out jumps Nlaka'pamux. Hey, brother, what's up? You know, just thought I'd just introduce myself. Hello there. How are you? I'm your brother Coyote. What are you doing out here, brother? Spotch is like, oh, you? I should have known it was you or Horatio. You guys are jerks. Why'd you have to do that? You know I got a bad heart. All I want is some damn honey. Can you get it? Can you get it? Huh? And Nlaka'pamux is like, these paws look like they could climb a tree. No. Good luck, brother. I'm out of here. He takes off on his merry way. Spotch is like, cheesed off still. He's like, man, that guy, kind of a jerk. Scared me. I pooped a little. Jeez. Now it's going to be stuck down there. I'm going to have a hard time today. Oh, damn it. So Spotch takes off. Coyote's like, and he's like, wait a minute. Look at that rock. It's getting warm. I'm getting kind of tired. I think I'm gonna go for a nap. Takes off down the hill. For a guy who's tired, he's really fast. Gets down to the balancing rock, climbs all the way up it, gets up top, and he's like, oh, what a beautiful day. I deserve this nap. I almost got some honey for my family. That's how much I love them. Almost. Well, I'm gonna have a nap. Maybe something will happen and I'll feel more inspired to get some more food. La hunch, to get some food. All right. It's so nice. Then he slowly wakes up. Time passes. The day moves ahead. And it's almost dark. It's getting dark. And he's like, boy, that was a good snore. I woke myself up. Woohoo! How many of you here are snorers? How many out there snorers in internet land? Yeah, I bet there's some snorers out there. We're all snorers. Come on, it's a snoring nation. So, Sklep's like, okay, I better get home. Shoot, I didn't mean to sleep this long. Darn it, what am I going to do? 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 I want to make it look like I was hunting all day. Jumping, climbing, chasing. Oh, I got it. Puts his paws on the rock. Takes a look. Not bad. Does it again. Oh, brilliant. Does his feet. Checks his paws and he's like, yes, I am a genius. Well, I better go home. Climbs down the rock, gets down and he starts walking home. A little more, he's still kind of tired, right? Coyote's the kind of person who needs, 8 hours a day and 8 at night. Then he's good, That's how much sleep he needs. So he goes, and he's trundling along. This is how Ozzy Osbourne walks on stage. I am Iron Man. I walk the same way now. So, he gets home, climbs in the den. Honey, kids, hey, how you doing? I missed you. Oh, I love you. Yay. The kids are just running around still. And he's like, oh, we have got to put them to bed. Ugh, gross. Are you sure these are ours? Ugh, they stink. Let's go. Time for bed, time for bed. So they put the cubs to bed. And Mama Coyote's like, well, I don't see no food. And he's like, yeah, okay. It's like this. I was going down on the flat stretch, headed towards the lake. That big open plain. I know lots of rabbits are there. I was going to get one. I saw one. And I ran and I ran and I ran and I ran and I ran. Got there too fast. So I went back into the tree line really fast. Saw lots of squirrels and chuckers. Oh, I'll get a chucker. Oh, yeah, I'll get some squirrels. Going. I was running back and forth in the plain, back into the forest, into the plain, back into the forest. I tried so hard. Look at my moccasins. Worn right down to the paws, honey. It was terrible. They were laughing at me, I think. Or maybe they were laughing with me. I couldn't tell. It was horrible. She's like, fine. Take them off. Maybe I can patch him up. We'll see. And he's like, you're the best. All right. Well, I'm tired. I'm going to have a nap. I'm going to go to bed for a bit. Takes the moccasins off and lays down. Oh, time passes. It's morning again. He wakes up. Everyone's asleep. He's going to do his usual thing. He's like, oh, that was a wonderful sleep. Well, now that I'm clean, I'm going to get out. And I'm going to go hide. And I'm going to go find my brother and I'm going to play. Yeah! Again, just as he's almost at the door of the den, somebody grabs his tail. Ow! He looks, turns around. Oh, hey! Hey, honey, how are ya? I was just going to get some snow. Warm it up in here, have something to drink, make some tea. I was thinking of you. I know you like tea in the morning. Okay, what do you think, honey? Mama Coyote's just like, yeah, tea. All right. You have to go get some food. We're down to the last bit of stwan. Dried salmon. We're down to the last bit of husham. Soap berries. We're down to the last bit of sala. Huckleberries. What are we going to do when we run out? The kids are hungry. And he's like, yeah, I got this. I'll win. Today's the day I feel lucky. But I need my moccasins. She's like, oh, okay, but this is the last pair, and you cannot fail. You have to get some food. Go trade some salmon, do something. Trade a rabbit for a salmon with spotch. And he's like, well, you know how he is with honey and salmon. That's like a lost cause. He's like, whatever, just get something. Gets his moccasins, puts them on. Coyote's ready to go. He's like doing his thing again. He's like, today is the day I will provide food for my children and my beloved wife, and we will no longer starve. It's going to be glorious. And his wife just goes, bam, kicks him out. Oh, it's going to leave a mark. Nobody in this family has any sense of drama. What the heck? I love you. And she's just like, grumpy, tired. 3 kids, 3, toddlers. Ugh. I love my kids, but jeez. I'll never see another diaper again in my life. Whew. So that's what Coyote's thinking. He's like, yeah, I'm out of here. Yeah, baby, yeah. He stops. Keeps going, yeah, just happy, having a great old time by himself. This is just like when I was young and handsome and single, bounding over the prairie, through the forest. Nobody but myself and my brother Horatio. Woohoo! So he's just jumping around, and then he stops. What the heck's that? He takes a couple steps back, looks around, and then he sees way up top in the trees, Sha'a is there. He's like this. Sha'a. Can you say Sha'a? Sha'a. Sha'a. Crow. Crow's up in the tree, Brother Crow, and he's just like, Scalap is like, yeah, this is perfect. Gets the snow in his paws, makes a nice tight ice ball, lets it thaw for a second, pats it down even more, and he's like, throws a snowball way up, poof, hits Sha'a. And he tumbles. I'm gonna die. Jeez. And he gets his wings underneath him, and he's like, oh, I got this. He's looking around. What the heck was that? Who did that? And he's cawing. And Scalap's like, ta-da! I gotcha. I'll admit it, that was me. That was such an ace shot. I have to admit it was me. Gotcha. And Sha'a comes down, he's like, oh, Scalap. Jeez. You scared me. Why would you do that? You're just like your brother Horatio. You guys are no good. Flapping his wings. You could have hurt me. It's like I wasn't trying to hurt you or hit you. It's pretty darn close though, eh? Good shot, huh? What do you think? What do you think? 9 out of 10? I was like, goes after him, starts trying to peck at him. He's such a jerk. Jerk! Scalap's like, oh, geez, okay. Well, I gotta go out there into the land the frozen frontier, put my life at risk for my loved ones and my family. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. See you later, jerk. Takes off into the sky, and Coyote's still doing his monologue. Perhaps I am the greatest hunter ever. Well, one way to find out. Sees his rock, and he's like, oh, man, nap would sure hit the spot right about now. Well, let's see. Pulls out a little chunk of salmon. Stwan. Well, since I have a snack, I guess I could go have a little nap, have a little snack, see what happens. So he goes down the hill into the gully, climbs his rock. He's like, yes. Sits there. Oh, life is good. I love my family. They're so wonderful. At home, away from me. Eats his salmon, dried salmon. Oh, honey, you put in salt salad just like I like it. Oh, I love you. Finishes his dried salmon. He's like, well, I am kind of tired now. It was a lot of running. Maybe just a little nap won't hurt, you know. I earned it. I deserve this. Whoa, excuse me. The day goes by. Time passes. And that wasn't me, by the way. And he wakes up and he's like, oh, jeez. How long did I sleep? Oh, I must have been tired. Well, I better do this. Wears down his moccasins. Takes a look at him. Maybe a little chewing. And he's like, gets them worn down enough. You know, they're paper thin. He's like, all right, onward I go into the brave dark night. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll survive. Maybe I'll make it home. Maybe I'll stop monologuing. And he takes off. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da, yeah. Gets home. And he's like, okay. Puts a bunch of snow in his face and messes up his hair. And he's like, okay, I got this, I can do this. Goes inside the door, knocks quietly. He's like, honey, kids, hey, how you doing? I know it's kind of late. You guys still up? And he crawls down into the den. The kids are all there. Hungry, right? He's like, oh, kids, I'm so sorry. I didn't find anything. Look, I tried. Look at my moccasins, kids. I wore them right out again. I saw a rabbit over here and I was running for it. I saw a duck over here and I was running for it. Everywhere I went, they're so fast. Even the squirrel, they're throwing their nuts at me, laughing. I was trying so hard. I know you guys are hungry. I love you. And then he looks over at Mama Coyote. Marge. And she's sitting there eating some honey. He's like, hey, where'd you get the honey from? And she just flicks a chunk over at Spot-Otch sitting in the corner. And Spot-Otch gets up. Ha, ha, ha. Well, brother, I seem to remember you sleeping yesterday at your rock, at the balancing rock, Coyote Rock. And he's like, oh, that wasn't me. That was Horatio. Spot is like, Horatio doesn't have nice moccasins like those. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was Horatio. I knew it was. I know he's around here. I led him a pair last year. Trust me. Ask him. Ask him when you see him. I love you guys. You're awesome. And then he's like, wait a minute. What the heck? And then Mama Coyote's like, oh yeah? We have another guest, honey. Sha'a, come on in. And Sha'a comes flying in, lands majestically in a way that Coyote only wishes. And he's like, yeah! I remember you today. You were throwing snowballs at me. You are not very nice. Goes over by Spot and stands there, because Spot is huge and can protect him. Coyote's like, yeah. Shaw's like, and then I went for a fly, and guess who I saw on top of the rock? You! Sleeping away, pretending to be hunting while your family goes hungry. Sha'a has a whole bunch of berries, opens his wing, and all these berries fall out. And the kids are happy. They're like, yay, candy! So they go for the berries, and they're eating, and Sklep's like, that wasn't me, that was Horatio. Come on. I know we look alike. Handsome, suave, swarthy. And Mama Coyote's just like, whatever. Take off those moccasins. He's like, okay. I love you. Takes them off, gives them to her, and she takes them. And now, you get out there, and don't you bother coming back until you get some food. And just to make sure, Sha'a and Spot are going to take turns following you. And they're going to report to me what's going on. Now get out! Boot! No fanfare, no drama, just kicks him right out. Ow! Oh, it's going to leave a mark. Oh, Charlie horse. Oh. But it's cold. It's dark. I don't know what to do. And Mama Coyote's just like, listen, I gave you 2 days, 2 chances, 2 pairs of moccasins, and what did you do with them? I had a nap. Just a little nap, a little tiny nap, little tiny. She's like, bah! You're not allowed back in here until you come back with some food. And until then, no more moccasins. I'm not making moccasins for you. I'm not making moccasins for your brother. I'm not making moccasins for Fox. Nobody gets moccasins ever again. That's it. I'm done. I'm stopping. And Spot is like, yeah, she's going to make me a suit. Oh, yeah, it's going to look good. And that's how animals stop wearing moccasins. Because of Coyote. Kook scam, everybody. Woo! Okay. Beam me up. Oh, wait. Wrong play. So, I'm going to tell you another story. This one is another coyote story. This one is how Coyote, oh, this is going to be ironic, fed the people. I know you're saying, what? But Chris, you were just telling us he's a rapscallion, a raconteur, a jerk, charming, devilishly handsome, swarthy, but not a provider of food. Well, this one he does. All right. So, this story again takes place before the Kalmuch. Can you guys say Kalmuch? Kalmuch. Kalmuch. Move. There we go. The people You, me, your mom, your auntie, your uncle, your brother, your grandma, your grandpa, everyone. The people, all right? So, this takes place a long, long time ago. Over across the river on the Res, where the rivers meet, some say that's how we got the name Nlaka'pamux, where the rivers join. But it's more than that. It's a deeper meaning to that. It's a place where the people gather, the animals gather, where the resources are, where people come for the summer, where trade happens, where families gather. Like it's more than just where the rivers meet. It's a deeper meaning than that. It's the wellspring of life for this valley, you know. Trade happened there, all kinds of things. It's no accident that the Hudson's Bay put their first, fort there in 1810, and we burnt it down. Oh, that was fun. Those are the days. Anyways, back to the story. So, Nlaka'pamux and his family, living in on the res, got a nice little den where the rivers meet, all those cottonwood trees down there, and maple, and it's beautiful. I love it. It's a sacred place. So, winter is, again, ending. Lots of spring stories, right? Spring stories are when life is returning. Flowers are going to come back, and the leaves are going to come back, and everything's just starting to wake up. It's a beautiful time of year. It's my favorite time. And fall. Those are my two favorite times of year. So, he wakes up. This is a few, let's say a couple years later. He's learned a little bit, but not a lot, okay? So he wakes up and he's like, oh. He's a new coyote. He's a new, he's like, well, honey, children, I am going to go get some food. I hope you have a wonderful day. I won't be very long. I love you. Nauseatingly kisses them all. To the point where it's like, stop that. Yuck, gross. So he goes out of the den and he's toned down a little bit. Not a lot, but he's like, well, this is my mission for today. I am the provider. I will find food for my family. I believe I can, and I will. Takes off. Goes down to the river, and he's like, well, if it isn't the buffalo of the river, swans. And the swans, because they're huge, right? Swans are massive. They're almost as big as me, and I'm a big Indian. Like, come on, they're big. So the swans are all down by the river, and they're just like, they got no fear, right? Because they'll attack anything. A bear comes at them, they'll attack them. A wolf, they'll attack them. So they're like, I'm majestic, I'm a swan. I'm undefeated, I'm majestic, yo, woo-hoo! Just, swan, like, pruning and fixing their wings and their feathers, and they're like, yeah, I'm a swan. Brother swan, sister swan, anyone swan. We're swans, and they're like doing the can because they can. They're like, woo, do, swan. Coyote's like, oh, they're so smug. I'm gonna eat one of them. Yes, I got this. And the swans are like, swan, yeah, swan. I'm a freaking swan, a majestic swan. And the coyote's like, okay, fuck, I get it. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna get one of these guys. How am I gonna get one? They'll see me coming down the river. They'll hear me on the ice and the snow. Darn it. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna get these guys? Well, they're out on the ice. if there's only a way I could get under the ice and go towards the swans, and if I could pull one under the river somehow, I could bring one of these bad swans home. Oh, we'll eat for days, weeks. We'll be pecking away. All right. So he's looking around the shore and he's like, oh, I see some tule. Sweet. Goes over, digs out a reed, fashions it into a snorkel. Yeah, I can go under the water and I can just stick this out of the ice and just swim towards these swans. Get these smuggles. All right. Now I need something to get them. What could I do? And he sees some Indian hemp and he's like, yes! He goes over, pulls out a bunch of Indian hemp. He just sits there. Makes a long rope of Indian hemp and makes like a noose. A slip knot, one of my favorite bands, gets it, and he's like, all right, I'm going to get this. I got this. This is going to be good. My family's going to be so proud. My kids will like me. They'll be proud to be seen in public with me again. And he gets caught in his own fantasies for a few minutes. He's like Chevy Chase from like National Lampoon Vacation movies, just seeing all kinds of crazy stuff. And he's like, okay, I got to get this. And the swans are like in a bit of a conga line, you know, they're just like swan, 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 swan. So they're just totally not paying attention to him. And he's like, I got this. He sneaks into the water. Sorry, technical difficulties. Gets into the water, and he swims underneath the ice. He's like, I got this. It's so cold. It's so cold. And the swans are like, do, 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 do. And he puts out the Indian hemp, throws it out, and he's like, okay, those damn swans are gonna come here. I'm gonna get one. So finally, they're doing their conga line. One puts his foot into the trap. Coyote grabs a shank. And he grabs it, the swan's like, huh? And he starts moving away, trying to get away from the whatever's got him. And he starts kind of running down the ice. Oh, swan, swan, I'm scared. And Coyote's underneath the ice, just going, I got it. Whoosh! Smashes through the ice, up onto the surface. And he's being pulled by the swan. He won't let go for dear life. He's like, yeah, I got you. He's zooming across the ice and he's like totally created, friggin' water skiing. He's like, yeah! The swan starts flying. Okay. Looks back, sees Coyote. Coyote's like, hey, we have a bit of a misunderstanding here. If we could just land, I'll take off the rope and I'll see you later. And the swan's like, swan of vengeance, swan of retribution, swan of pain. Takes Coyote, flies him through the trees over on the res. He won't let go. He's like, I'm gonna get this one. Swan's like, swan of vengeance. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh. Coyote finally lets go. Oh. And he goes, doof, doof, doof. Hits the ground. The swan's like, swan vindicated. Yes. Flies off. The rope just still on his foot. Coyote wakes up. He's like, oh man. Well, I tried. And he looks up and he's like, is that my hair? What the heck is that? Is that my fur? But it transformed. It turned into the old man's beard or the witch's hair. That's what we call it. And he sees it and he gets it and he's like, well, tastes a bit like Itchy Man. Well, this is close enough. And he gets a whole big, huge armful of fur. And he's like, all right, I got some food. It's not the greatest, but I got some food. Gets home, goes inside the den. He's like, honey, look what I got. And he's all beat up and bleeding and like just bald spots here and there. And she looks, she's like, what on earth is that? And he's like, noodles, I think they're called now. And she's like, oh, whatever. Go have a nap. I'll make something out of this. We'll see what happens. And Coyote's like, yeah, okay. Oh. Poof, when he falls down and sleeps. And that's how Coyote provided food for the people. And now when you go out there and you see all that hair out in the trees, guess who brought that to you? Sklep. And you can actually eat it. It's really tough and you gotta boil it for like 20 minutes and it's like those weird noodles. It's good stuff. Put some Ichiban in there. Oh, so good. Okay. So, one more story. This one involves the Nlaka'pamux, the people. And the Nlaka'pamux. Can you say Nlaka'pamux? Nlaka'pamux. Nlaka'pamux. There you go. That's medicine person. People who learn about the land, the plants, the food, the animals, everything. What's good? Where's the good water? Where's the healing water? Where's all the stuff that helps the people? So sometimes a Nlaka'pamux, when they get real old, like anyone when they get real old, what happens? Their back hurts, their knees hurt, and they turn into cannibals. Watch your grandparents, they're going to become cannibals. You wait and see. Watch your kids when you're around your grandparents. Billy! Tastes so good. Return of the living grandparents. So, they go crazy. And Nlaka'pamux live for hundreds of years. So they go extra special sauce, kind of cantankerous, cannibalistic frenzies. So this one happens a long time ago. I'm going to put this one down at Riverside Park, not far from here. Because it's always been a gathering place. When it was a swamp, when it wasn't a swamp, like who cares? There's actually an old salmon weir still down there. It's down towards the west end of the park, and it's this big, long thing of rocks going into the river. And that's where we would have had a whole bunch of traps, this one big, long trap called a weir. And we would have got salmon, and then we would have dragged them out on shore and cut off their heads and gut them and then hang them up to dry. So, it's a gathering place to prepare food, because in August is the time of gathering for my people. It still is to this day. You know, July and August, we're out there getting the berries, getting the fish, you know, getting the meat, getting it all, as much as we can for the winter. So, this story takes place down there a long time ago, before contact, when it was just the Nlaka'pamux, the people, and the adults are doing what adults do. I know you guys are adults. I'm trying not to be an adult. It sucks. I tell this to my kids. I'm like, being a grown-up sucks. Don't be a grown-up. Bills, rent, responsibility. Who wants that? Ugh. So, some of it, mortgages, car payments, insurance. Do I make it sound like fun? Pensions. Sounds fun, doesn't it? So, Oh, the floor is farting right there. So this happens a long time ago. The people are gathering food, they're getting their salmon, they're getting their berries, they're wind drying some salmon, they've got, they're making mashed berries, like fruit, fruit jerky or whatever the hell it's called, fruit leather. Fruit jerky, what do you call it? What do you call it, Billy? So, it's part of the floor farts too, jeez. So they're getting it all ready, right? And the kids are playing, kids doing what the kids do. Man, I love being a kid. I hate being an adult. Ugh, it sucks. So the kids are playing, having fun. I'm always telling my kids, settle down. Take it down about 10 notches, okay? Because in 10 years, you're going to be paying rent and bills and all that fun stuff. And they're like, ugh. And I'm like, yeah, see? So the kids are having fun. The adults are like, doing what adults do. They're gossiping and, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 Ethel and, Charles and, whatever the heck they're doing. And so it gets hot. It's a hot summer day in August, and the kids get tired. And one by one, they fall asleep. And the grass at Riverside Park is tall back in the day, and there's just these trails through it, right? And it's really tall, and when it's windy, it's so cool and nice and smells beautiful. The kids all one by one fall asleep. And slowly, time passes. And one by one, they wake up. First, little Shinji. Quickly, say Shinji. 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 Little brother wakes up. It's dark. And it's quiet. There's no wind and there's no stars. He's like, and no fires, and he hears nothing. He said, what? Kachk. Ki. Kachk. Ki. Kachk. 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 Big brother. Gi. 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 There we go. Big sister. The smart one. So they're like, what? They wake up and they're like, what's up, Shinji? And he's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm scared. Where's Cha-Cha? Where's everybody? Where's Mom? Where's Dad? Where's Yaya? Where's Papa? What's going on? And they realize, too, it's like, yeah, where's everyone? What's going on? This is kind of weird. No stars, no wind, no moon, no nothing. Just quiet. So they're like, okay. And they slowly go around and get everyone and bring them all together in the center there of this little patch of clear grass, where it's all stomped down from the kids, a clearing, as it were. So they're like, okay, what the heck's going on? Where is everyone? One little brother starts crying. And they're like, shh, Chukush, Chukush. Be quiet. We'll hear you. And you know what she'll do? She'll take us and she'll eat us. Chukush. Can you guys say Chukush? Chukush. My kids know this one. Chukush. Be quiet. See me out at the mall or the bookstore and I'm like, oh, Chukush, come on. No, stop it. Okay. Inwitush. Can't afford it right now. Inwitush. It's great, speaking a language nobody else understands. So they're like, okay. They all get together, and little brother is still kind of blubbering. My mom. And all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. All the kids are like, stop. Someone squeaks out a fart. A little scaredy fart. It stinks. And Big Brother's like, Chukush, come on. Shufnam's going to hear you. She's going to take us. That's where we're going to go. And he doesn't stop crying. Boom, boom, boom. I'm hungry. I smell children. I smell supper. Yeah. And the kids are like, and they all start to try to run, and the big brothers and sisters are trying to get them all together. No, 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 stay together, stay together. Shuknan will get us for sure. And it stops. No wind, nothing. The rattle, her screeching howl, gone. I'm like, okay, maybe she's gone. Let's just try to get back over to the forest. And all of a sudden, she jumps out. I'm hungry. Grabs a kid. Throws him over her back in the sack she's got. I'm gonna eat la hunch. La hunch, I'm gonna eat good tonight. Starts stomping up the hill. All the kids are in the back and they're just freaking out and they're crying and they're like, I don't know what to do. Dee, big sister, she's smart. She's the smart one. She's like, who could I get? It's a clamshell. What are you gonna do with the clamshell, you're asking? It's a freaking knife. Come on, people, jeez. So she starts hacking away at the bag. Just, get us out of here, get us out of here. So she cuts a hole in the bag. And the brothers and sisters are all like, yeah. They rip a hole in the bag. They're like, yes. So they get the little brothers and sisters, Checha and Shinji, and they just push them through the hole. Tuck and roll, we'll come back and get you. How? I don't want to go. And they push them out. And the old Shuknam just keeps going, shaking a rattle full of teeth and just like, going up the hill. The hunch I'm gonna eat tonight. Children, yummy. Just keeps going up the hill. Slowly, the littlest ones go out. She gets to the top to her cave, Aberdeen Mall. She gets there, and she's like, oh, I'm tired. Ooh. It's tough being kind of crazy. Ooh. Throws down the bag. All the big kids spill out. None of the little kids. She's like, what? Where's all the little children? They're the tastiest, the yummiest, the sweetest. That's what I really want, not you teenagers. Blah. And they're like, there's a hole in the bag. I guess they just fell out. And she's like, make me a fire. Make it huge. I'm gonna eat you all. It doesn't matter. She dances around the fire. And the kids are throwing giant big piles of wood into it they've got, and they go out, get it. And she's watching them and just sort of dancing and laughing. Lunch. Gonna eat. It'll help my bones. Oh, yeah. Big brother and sister are like, okay, next time she goes around the fire, all of us run and push. Push her into the fire. That's the only way we're going to get out of here. And they're like, oh, you're crazy, man. No. Well, what's the option? You know, poached us or, you know, freedom. We got to go back and get our little brothers and sisters and see what the heck's going on. And I'm like, okay, fine. And the Shukunam, she's like, not even paying attention, just like, dancing around, just being crazy. And the kids all run up on the once and go, get her! And they push. knock her off balance. Whoa! Into the fire she goes. She screams and howls and burns and poof, turns into a black cloud, swarming around them. She turns into tiny, tiny, tiny mosquitoes, soaring through the night. She she flies towards the kids and she goes, I'll never forget this. I'll never forgive you. I'll always be hungry for blood. And that's what you hear at night in the bush when you're camping, is that Nlaka'pamux coming to get your blood, hungry forever, for all eternity. And that's how we got mosquitoes. Cook's Jam, everybody. Cook's Jam, Cook's Jam. I want to thank the Remergence crew. I want to thank everybody here. Haltscheen, I love you all. It's been such a wonderful time. Thanks to the Hydra Fest. Thanks to the Western Canada Theatre Company. Just thanks so much, and thanks to you, the audience. Cook's Jam, Cook's Jachum, and Cook's Stripe. Thanks to my grandma and grandpa, Mary and Jacob Anderson, for telling these stories. Thank you. So have a great night, and we'll see you again out there.